So I haven't done a video in like a week or two, so a summer video at least. So I decided I was gonna show you all. Someone in the story group asked me to do a tutorial on this long cardigan. I had the inspiration from a picture that I found online, and I decided I was gonna remake it. I couldn't find any tutorials online, so I completely did this from scratch. This is the cardigan. Show you all what it looks like. It's really long, so I'm not gonna be able to show you all like from top to bottom the exact cardigan, but I'm gonna show you all what I can show you. And like I said, it's a really long cardigan. I wanted it to stop on the model. She's a little taller, and it stopped like under her, about a few inches under her kneecap. But I made mine really long, and it stops like kind of towards my ankles. So this is the cardigan. It has buttonholes and all, and I made all of this. I made the sleeves really long because I did want like this scrunch look right here. So I made the sleeves really long, and it fits like perfectly because it's my measurements. So yeah. So I'm gonna take it off because it's like kind of hot in my house. So I'm gonna take this off. But that's how it looks. The material, I can't give you all an estimated amount of yards that you'll need. Well, I'll tell you, it's probably about 2 yards. I actually went to the thrift store and I got a sheet. It wasn't like a regular sheet. It was like a, I'm not gonna say a fitted sheet, but it was like, instead of having like elastic around the ends of it, it was like all the way under where you could put the whole mattress in there and button it at the ends. I'm not sure what kind of sheet it's called, but that's what I used. And I used the front of it. I only used the front piece of it. For the sleeves, I cut off one of my Aces sweatshirt sleeves at the armhole. I cut that part off. So this is like the sheet right here, and it already had one side was already stitched, so the other side I had to stitch it. So this is like the fold that was already stitched. So I stitched this side down here, and I used the zigzag stitch. I use the zigzag stitch because they say when you use the zigzag, it kind of helps for this material to still be able to stretch without ripping seams. So this side was stitched, this was stitched, and I just had to stitch this side and hem the bottom of it. It was a pretty big sheet. It was like a fitted sheet, so I did cut off a lot of it, and I've actually made a swimsuit and a skirt with the rest of the material, and I still have material left because I did mess up some of it when I tried to make the sleeves. But yeah, so I zigzag stitched all the way from here, well, from about here. You want to measure your arm to see how big you're going to need it, and that's going to determine where exactly you start stitching on the side. So say this is my arm right here. So instead of stitching from top to down, I stitched from right here on down. That made it easier than having to go back and then cut off this piece, and it was just too much. So I matched up this side to this side, and I cut this off. So these were my armholes. So from my armholes, I actually cut down the middle because like I said, it was all connected. I cut down the middle of it so I could attach the buttons, and I did not make the buttonholes on my sewing machine. Like I said, on the fitted sheet, it was like a sheet that you could put around the whole mattress and button the end. So I just cut off the button part. I just cut it off, and I sewed that to this side of my cardigan. So that's how I got my buttonholes, and I have to hand sew the buttons on. So like I said, I cut it down the middle. I sewed on this side. I sewed the buttonholes onto it. And now is the time that I cut my sleeves. And I cut them long. I cut them really long. And I inserted the sleeves inside of this part, and I stitched around. I inserted on this side, and I stitched around. And I'm trying to show you all my arm. This part, I actually took a little piece of fabric and stitched it here. And then I flipped it inside out like that, and I stitched around this part, and that's how I got the little cuff. And I did do this cuff a little, I did it to really fit my wrist, because like I said, I wanted it to be fit, but you know, slouchy a little bit on the arms. I didn't want them like just perfectly sitting on there. I wanted them kind of low and slouchy and really tight around the cuffs. And I actually hemmed around the neckline because, like I said, up here it was all sewed. I cut out a circle for the neckline, and really I just cut out the front. I didn't cut the back. I just cut out the front neckline, and I hemmed it around. I hemmed this part that I did, so that the buttons are going on. I hemmed that part. I hemmed the bottom, and that's how I completed my my long cardigan. And it's gonna be really cute. I'm gonna wear it with some Converse, and I'll show you all how I dress that up. I have one problem to fix. Is it was because when I originally sewed everything onto the cardigan, I sewed the sleeves inside out. That is like my problem area right now, is the sleeves, and I sewed it on inside out, but I had to cut it off and redo it instead of like ripping the seams. I was like, I'm not gonna stay here and I'm not gonna rip off these seams, so I just cut it off and flipped it inside out and redid it, and the sleeves came out perfectly, but a little piece didn't sew, so I'm gonna go back and re-sew that once I sew my buttons onto my sweater. But yeah, so that is how I did my long cardigan. If I can go back to the thrift store before I leave out of town, I will be sure to do an actual tutorial, a full tutorial to show you all how I did it. But this is like a top through tutorial to tell you all how I did the cardigan. I really wish I could have showed you, and I should have followed my first line to record it, but I didn't. But I'm gonna redo it, and like I said, I got the fitted sheet from the thrift store by my house for like $2.56 or something like that, and it was really pretty. I really love the blue color. Any other things? Oh, the buttons that I'm gonna sew on they also come off of the sheet, and they're like these clear buttons, and I really think that's gonna be cute. I think I'm gonna add a pocket onto it as well, but I'm not sure yet. Might try to use my liquid stitch stuff by Singer, but yeah, thanks for watching.